When I first heard the word sustainability and conscious consumption, it was never as mainstream as it is now. The words existed even then, but it was never part of a common man's language. The utility aspect of a product was never associated with how sustainably it has been produced. A green product was never part of a mainstream marketing strategy. Having been exposed to these ideas for more than 8 years, in this episode, I dare to explore how these ideas have influenced me at a personal level. The analysis is not limited to the material aspect of how sustainably I have started using various resources and products, but at a much more deeper level, how it has influenced my outlook towards life or maybe even relationships. When we are part of the mainstream economy and suddenly get exposed to these sustainability ideas, there is a paradigm shift. A paradigm shift in the way we look at the world and the way we perceive our universe. And these ideas are like natural laws, which has applications in a much more wider sense than the material context that we are talking about. In the further part of the episode, we will be talking about each of these learnings that I had and its wider applications in the day to day life. Sustainability teaches us that efficiency should not be the single most criteria to look up to. When we are creating a product, there is footprint associated with that. Footprint in terms of the resources that is being consumed and the waste being generated. As a conscious consumer and as a producer, we should be aware of these footprints that is being generated. This idea also has wide applications in the day to day life. For example, the career choice that we are making. Productivity should not be the single most criteria. We should also think about whether this job role is going to make us happy. Are we going to do a meaningful job? Sustainability teaches us that we should not evaluate ourselves based on success parameters defined by others. For example, GDP. When every other country is defining its success based on GDP, we should not just join the rat race, but look into ourselves and see what is the more meaningful parameter for us, maybe the global happiness index, and pursue that. This is also meaningful in our day to day life, where we should not define our success based on parameters that is being defined by others, like marks, or the material possession, or the social influence that a person is having. We should look into ourselves and understand what is our success parameters and pursue that for a more meaningful life. Sustainability teaches us that there is limit to growth. Many resources that we take for granted has a limit associated with that. For example, fresh water. We have always been told that fresh water is a limitless resource, but as our generation moves further, we realize there is limits in ways we can utilize that. Same goes with relationship. Every relationship has a cost and limit associated with that, even those relationships that we take for granted. If we don't realize this cost and limit, we cannot create sustainable relationships. Hope you guys enjoyed these analogies. Meet you in next episode. Thank you.